I have to say I'm pretty darn impressed by Shiba Inu, even at these times where volume has been kind of low and there hasn't been a lot going on over the crypto market. We've continued to see this SHIB resilience. We're starting to see a bullish momentum flip that we do need to have a discussion about, and SHIB continues to mimic what it did last summer. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So what we're looking at in terms of the hourly chart in terms of Shiba Inu, which I do not do that often, is a bullish trend. Guys, we are in fact building an ascending triangle right now. For those that aren't familiar, this is a bullish pattern. And right now we keep testing the top of this, testing the bottom of this, and we're kind of getting tossed around. And this shows that even if this does get a retracement back to the downside, we have the potential by Saturday to potentially break to the upside. Could happen today, could happen tomorrow, may not happen at all. Right now, this isn't to guarantee your financial advice or anything like that. We obviously talked about SHIB's inverse head and shoulders that it's playing out into yesterday. But what I think is even more interesting about this is something that I haven't brought up here for a while, is actually what the indicator is showing us. And actually the indicator is showing us a bunch of buy zone opportunities on this. And now we've also seen this flip to bullish momentum. The last time this took place and this bullish momentum flip did happen, we saw SHIB actually rise about 5.5%, nothing crazy, but this might indicate that we actually have a little bit of a breakout ahead of us, a little bit of reversal taking place. There have been other times where it has been significantly more to the upside, but that's where things are starting to shift. And we are starting to feel that positive momentum carry Shiba Inu a little bit more. And there's something else I need to show you guys on the charts in just a moment, which I'll get to. But I do want to say that I'm very impressed with what SHIB fundamentals continue to look like despite the market just being blah. All right. When we look at overall holders in terms of Shiba Inu, what we continue to see is new all-time highs set. We get this rally to all-time highs. We get some holders that either take profit or just decide to call it quits because price isn't moving. And then we continue to turn around and rally back to the upside. We set a new all-time high in terms of holders back on, what was that? Monday, the 14th. And so now we're starting to get back into that kind of flip around after we dropped off a little bit. We'll probably set a new all-time high in terms of holders Sunday, Monday of next week. So that's it, the exact resilience we like to see. Didn't get a chance to talk about whales yesterday, but what we saw from Wednesday was 184 billion SHIB added by whales. Yesterday was kind of a quiet, modest day, but still 3.62 billion added by whales. So we're seeing a lot of those great signs, that great fundamentals in terms of Shiba Inu. And kind of like I talked about earlier in my ADA video, it really seems like we're on the verge of some sort of rally across the crypto market. When we're looking at the MACD and the RSI for Shiba Inu on the daily, they're showing very positive signs. We are starting to get that momentum carrying us to the upside. What I think is very interesting here is a viewer actually told me to take a look at this in terms of ADA, and I did. We're going to look at this in terms of SHIB as well. This is the stochastic RSI, and what we're at right now is a very oversold range, a deep discount. And what's very interesting about this is the last time SHIB actually got down into a range like this, and we saw this kind of bottoming and flipping around, a little bit of a relief, and then rally back to the upside like we're seeing right now. That was right before SHIB started to make some of those major moves entering September. All right. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen again. Don't twist my words, but there are a lot of things that are very similar to last summer that we keep pointing to time and time again. And I think there's a lot of people that are about to get caught on the wrong bearish side of things here. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have bad GDP data is that next week? No, following week. Maybe it is next week. I'll have to look at that. But maybe we get some bad data. Maybe there's a war that escalates. Maybe there's something that comes in out of left field that just decides to crater the market. But we've kind of gotten to this point where I think everybody's pretty well prepared to either ride it to the bottom. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, or to just continue accumulating. All right. So we've hit this kind of floor in terms of the resilience levels, and that's where we keep bouncing off of. All right. We keep actually starting to slowly but surely work our way to the upside. So we're kind of in this big market pivot, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying bottom's probably in to be fair. And again, we're not terribly high off of that, but you guys can see that hard bounce off of our long-term trend in SHIB. that may have been exactly what we needed to start making some of these further moves to the upside. Now, again, we'll have to be patient and wait and watch and see what kind of fits the market goes through as it tries to determine its direction. We are heading into a weekend, so we'll see what that brings. A bunch of options in terms of Bitcoin and Ethereum end today or expire today, so we'll see if those cause some volatility in the crypto market. But we're starting to feel like the ship is beginning to right, okay? And yes, it has sucked. It's been a long road. SHIB is down heavily from December, just like everything else. But what we need to remember is that when times get exciting, when that sentiment shift takes place in the market, that's when SHIB tends to do its best. It's when it tends to outperform and be one of the best performers in the crypto market. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.